Hang on a sec, be right there. Who is it?
It's Joe.
I know, Joe, come on in.
How you doing?
Not bad, sir, for a Friday.
Yeah?
How about yourself?
Not bad for a Friday. And a long weekend.
Supposed to be a hot week next week.
Yeah, how you feeling?
Not bad, thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
Have a seat, sir.
Thank you.
So, I've been given some exercises to do.
I see that. Okay, from Lucas who was out here today?
Yeah, Lucas did these, and these here, I think were from the rest home, the rehab center before.
Oh, you went to Aaron Manor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been pretty good to me.
Yeah, I used to work there part-time. They're good.
Very nice.
Good group.
Yeah.
How you been doing since you've been home?
I'm not doing much exercises, I know, I don't really know what my trouble is, but, the leg is swollen and, kinda hurts to stretch it out, but, I do occasionally. I'm just not doing as much as I should. I'm certainly not doing all the rows.
Okay. Is it because of pain? Is it because of just energy or motivation to do it? What do you think?
Motivation, I think, but, when I do get to it, then I do them also, but, I'm just disappointed that the shrinking, swelling isn't going down right now.
Are you wearing a shrink on that?
No, I don't know where to shrink. The thing is so tight that, my brain tells me not to do that right now, so. What I do is I've got a shrink that's not real tight, it's black. I
Okay.
put it on there because this thing gets cold, and when it gets cold, it generates pain, so I put that on to keep it warm.
Is that on now?
No, I just got a clean one sitting over there, but also, sometimes I have to take my heating pad off because it, hurts, and I put the heating pad on there, it makes the pain, go down a little bit.
So is it more nerve pain that you're feeling versus?
I don't know, to tell you the truth,
A lot of times when there's lack of blood flow, especially in a lower limb amputation, you're gonna get a lot more nerve pain than usual, so the heat is gonna be good. But as long as you're not putting the heat on that hip, you're putting ice on the hip if you need pain relief for that, right?
To tell you the truth, the only thing that really bothers me is the bottom of the stump, so nothing else.
Okay.
But like I say, the whole thing is.
No open areas on there?
Nope, matter of fact, I had the nurse look at it. A nurse comes here at least once a week,
Okay.
at least for now anyway. And, they're happy with the incision, the way it looks, they're happy with the fact that I got all the stitches out, the external stitches, and, what else, Joe? Well, the surgery went well, my recovery at Aaron went very well.
Okay.
And, the other thing is, did a lot of damage to myself, including my prosthetic over there.
I was reading that. So did you break the carbon fiber on there?
I don't know, but it's twisted, where the carbon fiber meets the steel rod. That poor thing will never respond, man. I can't get into it. If I get into it, I can't get out of it.
So the actual quick release is not working correctly?
No, it's just I don't fit into it. Of course, maybe probably has a swelling right now, but,
So nothing's broken on it, just because this is a pin system, obviously, right? If you're not able to, you're able to get in, it's not locking.
when I fell down, my neighbors had to come and pick me up in a chair. I couldn't get it off. And then, I realized once I got it off, I couldn't get back into it. So something's happened to it, I think, as well. It just physically, I couldn't get out of it.
Okay.
It didn't help me get out of it.
Who did you get this through, Hanger?
No, that came from, Wallace Prosthetics.
Okay.
It's funny, Joe, because I had a prototype from them. And in 5 or 6 weeks, I was using it, I could walk around for 20, 30 minutes at a time. Actually, when I was outside, I was so confident. Then they gave me this is supposed to be a permanent one. And I just never.
How long have you had it?
Well, I must have had the thing for 2 or 3 months at least, maybe more, but I just couldn't. I never reached the same level of confidence with this one as I did with the prototype.
Okay.
And, it generated pain. To use this thing, I could only wear it 10 or 12 minutes, and I had to take my leg out, heat my leg up with the electric heating blanket, put my leg back in, I did another 10 or 12 minutes.
Okay.
But I couldn't do 20 minutes straight. And, it's different than the prototype, because the prototype did not have an articulated heel.
Okay.
But I don't see where that makes any difference at all, so. never really got used to this, and, I set myself back probably 6 months. I should be driving my car by now.
Are you getting, do you have an appointment scheduled with them to check this out?
Not yet. I got so much swelling in my legs, I wouldn't do anything. I think I said go down and think before I can do much of anything, I'm not sure.
Mhm.
But, I don't know, just the thing never really fit right.
Okay.
Although, you know, it's got this insert, should be able to tune it.
Right. Yeah, maybe take it down like a half inch or so, I don't know.
Or at least maybe try to center insert, I don't know.
Right.
The best I ever did with this was, one of the thin socks of number 3.
Okay.
I couldn't get in there, then I had to use the top of the sock that's so thin, it's paper thin to get into it. I never really got to it in any real range of shrinkers that I could, socks that I could put on with the silicone liner that you put in.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, just, didn't seem right. But anyway, so
Okay.
when I fell down, I broke my hip and my femur. So basically, I'm starting over, and then I got, let me do anything like this for 3 or 4 months because the bones are completely broken, and, they told me that, if I broke my femur again, it would be the end of me because it cut the femoral artery and be dead. So, the bones actually just broke, the femur just broke, and one bone was scraping against the other. Plus I broke the hip, so, they tell me if I screw this up, I'm done.
So you're just being extra cautious.
No, they're not gonna let me do anything with this, at least till the bones are knitted, I'm sure that,
Are you non-weight bearing in that leg right now?
I'm not doing anything with it.
How are you transferring?
It's my good
Are
leg.
you using a walker?
I can do pretty much anything I need to do around here by just getting closer with my wheelchair and pivoting on my good foot.
Okay. You're dressing yourself and toileting yourself independently?
Yep. Well, Joe, my whole house is laid out for a wheelchair, so.
Yeah, and yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
How about meals and?
Well, I've got a bunch of prefab meals, my daughter comes a couple times a week, cooks for me.
Okay.
I've got, she gets me meals from Raymond's, I got a lady that takes me out for all my appointments, and she does shopping for me too. And I got a gal that comes every 2 weeks and cleans the house. Plus my friends come every now and then, my workmates, and, sometimes the neighbors come. And my poor neighbor 3 doors down, they come and pick me up off the floor.
Are you diabetic, Joe?
No,
Okay. Are you managing all your own medications?
yes. Actually, I got a problem with that, so what is it, the hospital that, either hospital or Ernst, they noticed something wrong with my liver. Said maybe stop taking the rosuvastatin for a while. I'm still off of it. I guess I'm due for another blood test pretty soon. But anyway, so maybe, as a result of it, they're making me take an iron supplement now that I never took, and they made me stop my statin for a while. And if I've been off 2 weeks already, I don't know how long you can go for it, so,
How often are you doing showers?
not more than twice a week.
Okay. Are you needing any help with those?
Pretty much, Joe, when my wife and my daughters designed this house, they designed it for me and for my wife, so it's got everything she wanted, and everything, even the powder room over here, there's a pair of big, arms that come down, so when you sit in the toilet, there's nothing, nothing.
You're in there.
Yep, and it makes you transfer out of my wheelchair easy. Matter of fact, it's not that hard even getting into the shower. I can go right up to the shower, and I can reach the grab bar on the far side, so that's.
So what's your game plan? What's your goal here, Joe? I know physical therapy discharged you.
Yeah.
They gave you the exercise to continue. Are you basically just waiting for this to get to a stage where you can start using this again?
Yeah,
Do you have us come back?
That my bones are knit, and I should be able to do something. I don't think I do anything other than exercises right now. I sure wouldn't want to make that mistake again. I snapped the femur clean. It's 2 pieces.
Did you have like a syncopal episode, or did you pass out? How did that
That's a
happen?
real good question, I do not know. All I know is I was leaning over to pick up a box, and all of a sudden I did the one thing they tell you not to do, Joe. So right straight down on that, they tell you don't do that. That's why I broke everything. If I'd fallen any other way, I would have broken one bone and not the
Were you
other.
walking or were you in a chair?
I was standing up, he got out of the chair, I'm standing up, and, trying to reach down to get the sparks on the floor, hit my cane, but it just went, yeah, I don't know why, so, anyway, because of that, I'm gonna see a neurologist pretty soon, maybe you can tell me, for some reason, ever since I've been trying to use prosthetics, I felt that I have a balance problem, and, I'm hoping excuse me, Joe,
You're gonna water some?
in that fact, that one, I'm hoping the neurologist will tell me whether or not I really have a balance problem, because, it's been like this for months.
How about getting in and out of bed?
I can do it, to tell you the truth, when I had my surgery 2 years ago, my amputation, I got used to sleeping in a recliner,
Yep,
and it's much more comfortable for me.
okay,
In fact, I got one right there,
perfect.
over there.
Oh, it's hiding away behind
Yeah.
there. Okay, good.
Yeah, it makes, as a matter of fact, I can crank it down and try to elevate my leg a little bit, which is what you're supposed to do.
Is there anything that you're having a hard time with here at home that you think that you would need me to continue seeing you?
Well, I just need a way to make myself start doing these, and, that's really my problem, I feel like this.
Do you have a smartphone?
Yes,
So one of the things that I like to tell people to do is if it's a hard thing to motivate yourself, like I use this strategy all the time, especially for exercise, is I set alarms on my phone. So if you wanna be doing that exercise, or if Lucas wanted you to be doing those exercises 2 times a day,
yep, that's right.
set an alarm on your phone 2 different times a day. When the alarm goes off, you do the exercise. It's just it's a way that you're constantly being reminded, okay, it's time. So find a time in the day that you think would be a good time for you. You set a recurring alarm for
Yep, I
that
do
time
that.
of day,
Yep.
and you gotta kind of force yourself into doing it. Because what happens is, Joe, is if you don't do those exercises, those muscles are gonna atrophy. Maybe not so much on the left side, because you're pivoting through it and you're using it during the transfers and your other activities throughout the day. But if you're not doing anything for the other side, once you get cleared to start using this again, or you get it figured out, that quad, everything in that right side is gonna get really weak. It's gonna be a lot
Yeah, I've
different.
lost a lot already, Joe, I've lost quite a bit, of physical strength to this thing, anyway.
Yeah, we don't want you to lose that. You're doing the right things by allowing it to heal, but we gotta make sure you're doing these exercises to prevent any loss of mobility once you get the go-ahead.
Yeah, I never quite sure I can use the phone, why not?
No, it's a valuable tool because it just keeps, it doesn't, if it's set recurring like that every day, it's gonna be an indicator, okay, I gotta set it, and how long is it gonna take you to go through that, 15 minutes? Not even probably?
Well, 15, I'd say 15 minutes for that, maybe 10 minutes for that.
Okay,
And then-
25 minutes, maybe a half hour to do your exercises.
Maybe, at most.
Um,
Actually, I should do it once after lunch and once after lunch and once after.
Yeah, and whatever, there's no specific times that you have to do it, it's just whatever times you think is gonna be more motivating for you to get it done. That's when you gotta set those alarms for. Let's see. Who's your primary doctor, Joe?
Just changed, I haven't met him yet, his name is Ramatullah.
Okay.
I can tell you who he is.
How long were you at Aaron Manor?
6 days, I think. And this guy is at Webster Family, U of R Webster Family Medicine, his name is Ramatullah. Ramatullah. Sayed Ramatullah, Sayed Ali Ramatullah.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, I yet to see him, I will see him on, September 5th, which is a Tuesday.
Okay, so next week.
Well, the holiday's Monday, right?
Yep.
folks at Evans have been very nice to me, I've been there a couple of times now.
Air Manor?
I was there for more than almost 2 weeks, I guess, when I had my amputation. I was there for, I think, 6 days this time. Nice folks. Somebody might have to live there, you know.
So, I'd like for you to show me, if you don't mind, Joe, how you're getting in and out of the bathroom and on and off the toilet. Can we do that, just so I can see you do something functional here?
Yep.
Make sure everything's kosher.
Yep, no problem, Joe.
Yeah, this is laid out wonderful.
Yep, my wife and my daughter.
Now your car, is that, did you have it set up for hand controls?
No,
Or are you just driving with the left foot?
I haven't tried at all.
Well, you said you were driving, right?
Not for the last 2 years.
Oh, okay. Okay. Have any call them yet? Yeah, the decision looks awesome. It looks good. He was an electrical engineer? Oh, that is cool as hell. What did you do for a living? I was gonna say, I would imagine if he taught you all that, you were in engineering as well. I'll see you back here and see your shower set up. Sweet, okay, so you just put it right after the shower.
Yep, you rotate right up in front of it. You got another little stool, close the sheet and away it goes.
Okay, good.
What else do you want to see?
Are you doing all the laundry too, Joe?
Yes. No reason why not.
Okay.
Oh, I'm having a problem with my washer right now.
How about getting out onto the deck?
No, I
No?
can't, I don't want to do that without the prosthetic. When I was practicing the prosthetic, I used to get out there and sit in the chair, but
The wheelchair won't go over the threshold?
no.
Okay.
That's the only thing that's really not, wheelchair accessible is the deck.
Okay, what's the back area over in there?
Well, my property line only goes as far as the grass is cut. Then what you see with those big trees is the right of way, which I
Okay.
think belongs to the county, and these people have been working on this, old farmhouse here for months.
Okay.
Somebody
Do
really-
they, are these, you own this property?
No, well, that
I was
only,
gonna say, I pulled in, I passed the house and I went to the neighbor's driveway, but I saw it was for rent, and I was like, I thought these look like, houses somebody would purchase.
yeah, these are townhouses, Joe, I think. What that means is, I own the house, the HOA owns the property,
Right,
the land, so that means they
so
can't.
they can rent the houses out?
It's unusual, I didn't think they could do that.
Yeah, the sign out front says for rent, so I was like, 'cause I thought the same thing, my father-in-law is the same situation, they bought a house just like this in Spencerport, but they pay, the HOA owns the property, but they own the house.
See, Joe, there are rules for the HOA set by the state of New York, but there's other things that they let the board of directors for an HOA decide themselves.
Okay.
I think these people have decided they're gonna let their own buyers rent. I can't think of any other reason for it, other than that. So, but, so far I've been lucky with my neighbors.
That's good.
Yeah, like I said, my neighbor two door down, the ones that picked me up off the floor, Joe. Got me in my
Is
wheelchair.
that a recurring thing for you?
No, that was just, well, like I said, Joe, broke everything I had on the right side, so.
That must have been so painful.
Yeah, funny enough though, what I found out from that was, when you actually break bones like that scrape all over each other, no anesthetic does any good. I've never had pain before in my life that I couldn't control. That I could not control.
I can imagine. That must have been brutal for you.
Actually, I don't know, my body has the ability to shut down pain to a certain extent. So I got through it, I wasn't screaming and yelling, but, at the same token, I wasn't sleeping either, it's perspiring. That's one thing I do when I'm in a lot of pain, I perspire like a hog.
Okay.
Then I need showers. You know, when they say clean body, clean mind, take your choice, nobody wants to be stinky, you know that?
How are you sleeping?
I can't sleep more than 2 hours at a time because I have to get up and urinate.
Okay. You using a urinal for that, or you going to the bathroom?
I go to the bathroom.
Why?
Because I feel safe in there, you know, I can sit down in that toilet with those rails I showed you.
Okay.
Nothing can go wrong for me in there, no matter what happens. Besides, I've tried using the fan, that kind of stuff.
What, even just a urinal at the edge of your bed? So you're not having to transfer in and out?
Well, the thing is, I don't really want to do that. I did that when I was in the hospital, and managed to mess up my penis something fierce. It still hurts. Because they give you these little plastic bottles that are sharp as hell.
Oh, so it was cutting you up.
When you gotta go, you gotta go, right, Joe?
Yes.
Uh-huh. So,
How about constipation?
yeah, it was a problem because, when I first got home, they noticed that I had very low blood pressure.
Okay.
And so, I was losing water so fast. Oh, first of all, at the hospital, they became, I guess, completely dehydrated. And, so I got the Aaron Manor, and they managed to pump me up a little bit, but they found out that I still had low blood pressure, then they started doing blood testing on me. So when I got home here, I think the last time I left Aaron's was, my blood pressure had gone, the high side had gone from 107 to 120, so they let me go home. And, your nurses will come in and test my blood pressure at least once a week, every week, so. But, I started reading about how you boost blood pressure by doing all things you shouldn't do, like eat salt and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You're drinking the water.
to tell you the truth, Joe, I was drinking so much water, but it was running out of me faster than I became dehydrated even when I was home, because I was losing more than I could possibly drink. But then I found out, you know, there's other ways to get the water. You can eat fruit and stuff, besides just drinking water. There's other ways you can get hydrated. So. But now that I've figured out a little bit about how to raise blood pressure, I don't think it's so bad. Yes, I made slow but steady progress in raising my blood pressure. I guess that's the best way to say that. I've never had low blood pressure my whole life. Actually, never had high blood pressure either. Really. So use the phone, huh, Joe?
What's that?
Use the phone, huh? That's a good idea.
Yeah, set an alarm right on there, so, I mean, I use it all the time. I got it set up so it wakes me up so I get to the gym, and I got an alarm that goes off and it tells me I better get home before I'm late. But I use that stuff for everything, because it forces me to do it. But everybody's different, so you gotta find ways that you can implement things that are gonna motivate you to do it.
Well, I can certainly try it. For damn sure, it can't cost me anything to try.
Right.
I'm doing about 1/5 the exercises I should be doing every day, so I need something. But maybe the phone is the answer. And you know what? Maybe I'll call my son too and make him harass me.
Yeah, just something that's gonna, because something is better than nothing, right? You gotta do something. Even if you don't get through all of it, or you're gassing out after the amount of reps that he might have wanted you to get to, it doesn't matter. You're doing something to help. Because when you do, like I said, once you get the go-ahead and everything gets worked out with that, you're not gonna be chasing that independence as hard, because you've done all the work to help prepare you for it.
No, no.
Because if you do nothing now, when it comes time, you might be significantly weaker, and it's gonna be harder for you to stand, or harder for you to walk, or harder for you to initiate that right leg to move.
If I don't do that, I won't qualify for driving either, so I better do something.
Yeah, especially if you have a goal for you to get back into driving, that should be your motivating factor right there. You know? So think about that kind of stuff. Just when those alarm goes off, or if you wake up, you have your coffee, your breakfast, whatever, and you're like, I'm gonna get these over with now. My first one of the day, over with, get right through it. TV on, go through it.
The Navy SEALs, they said they gotta accomplish something every morning.
Yeah. I mean, you're just making your bed, that's not, you're completing something. It's no different when you gotta do stuff like this, especially if it's gonna make things better for you in the long run, or it's gonna help chip away at you getting towards your goals that you wanna accomplish. Especially when it comes to independence, being able to leave the house and go do things you wanna do, so you're not always, confined here to the house unless you have a ride somewhere.
Now too, that independent people, that bothers me a lot.
Yeah, you seem like a pretty independent guy, considering how much you're doing here at the house, even at a wheelchair level, compared to being a functional ambulator like you were before. So, what kind of vehicle do you have currently? Is it a car, SUV,
SUV.
crossover? Okay.
It's good, yeah, I need to be able to travel,
How big of a SUV are we talking?
It's a Chevy Equinox.
Okay,
This thing fits in the back.
okay,
When people are driving around, they pull this thing up, put it in the back.
okay, perfect. Now, when you were using the prosthetic, were you using a walker or a cane? What were you using? Nothing?
I'm sorry, King.
A cane?
Like I said, with the original prototype, which wasn't really fit very well for me, I got up to more than 20 minutes. I was very confident. I was going out to talk to my neighbors were around. I was standing outdoors. I never got off the ground with this thing. I don't know if it's because they got so much weaker that time frame. Something. But, anyway, I probably set myself back 6 months. So, then again, I'll be alive too. So, that worked out.
Yeah.
I appreciate the tip, though. Somehow, between my son and my daughter, myself, and maybe you got me the, what I need to understand. As you say, it's not even half hour, it's a piece of shit.
Yeah. That's odd, and those are, like I said, it's just gonna help keep you where you're supposed to be, so when you are ready to start moving like that, I mean, you're already, like I said, your standing tolerance looks pretty good even when you were in there. That way, once that prosthetic is ready to, and it fits, and you're comfortable with it, it's gonna be seamless. But if you're not doing this stuff, that's gonna significantly impact your balance, all of it. So, personally, do you have a two-wheeled walker here?
Yeah, I've got a.
The aluminum one with the two wheels in the front?
Yes, and
So that'd be something I would say probably you're gonna wanna use before you go to the cane, once you get cleared to use the prosthetic. I'm hoping that once you get that prosthetic back, you wanna at least have a physical therapist from our agency come back and work on it, make sure you're good with it. Or if you're gonna be doing outpatient therapy with it. Did you ever do that at all, outpatient?
oh yeah, I did it for 7 or 8 months, I think. That strong, U of R is a prosthetic thing, which is on, where is that? Lactaville, I think it is. I got a whole department for
Yep.
prosthetics. And they also have a whole department just for the therapy. Because you make the prosthetics in place and training for use.
Do you have any questions for me about anything, Joe? That we didn't talk about, aside from getting these exercises implemented?
That's what I can think of right now, Joe.
Okay.
There's a lot of things buzzing around my brain.
No, I can understand that. Well, as long as the nurses are here, if anything changes, they can refer me or the physical therapist back at any time. So if something changes functionally, mobility wise,
Oh, Joe, you're not a physical therapist, you're
occupational therapy, yep,
I appreciate it.
yep, alright.
Obviously, you're able to help people, that's great, Joe.
No, I appreciate it.
Well, I've learned quite a bit about people in the last 2 years.
That's good.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Alright, well, I wish you the best of luck, Joe. I just need your signature on here for me.
Appreciate it.
You be safe, alright? Take good care of yourself.
Joe, I figured that would be.
Oh, here, let me hold it. They just gave me this new phone and the screen's huge, so it's real sensitive. Perfect. Alright, man.
Thank
You
you,
be
sir.
well, enjoy the weekend. I'll catch you
Joe,
later.
I'm gonna try your suggestion, there. We'll do it now.
Alright, good deal.
Thanks, Joe.
You got it.
That was occupational therapist Joe from HCR. Today is September 1st, 2023.